Hello, welcome back to my channel. It is Alien Baby Gamer, you can call me Emmy, and today I am working on a rooftop bar in San Myshuno. I am on the Stargazer Lounge lot, and that's one of my favorite places to go in The Sims, especially if I already live in San Myshuno, but I do tend to even come here when I don't live here. Just because it's such a gorgeous lot, being on top of a building and all of the scenery, and it looks so beautiful at night. And so this is what I am putting here for my save file. So I'm working on replacing all of the builds and trying to build something on every lot and kind of have people for every lot. And so this is kind of what I'm going for here to replace the Stargazer Lounge. So there's a few different sections of this bar that you'll end up seeing, and that includes a lobby, and I'm kind of envisioning that lobby is more like owned by the building that it's on, like it's probably apartment buildings or like a hotel or something, and so that is the like hotel or apartment building owned lobby, and so that was kind of like a more different style. And then the rest of it is includes like bathrooms, and then a bar that has an indoor section, and then like an outdoor covered patio, and then there's like fully some outdoor seating and a pool. Instead of being like this super sleek glam kind of place, I wanted to go more vintage, industrial, neighborhood bar feel. So I really hope you enjoy it. One thing I did change specifically, like I really wanted to change, was the bathrooms. The original Stargazer Lounge has like 2 stalls, I think. They're 2 individual stalls with just the like city living like talking toilets. And while I love those and think they're so fun, I just didn't think it gave a true to life experience of using the bathroom in a bar. So I did want to change it to stalls, and I love the university, Discovery University stalls, so I did purposefully change up the bathroom situation to be those. But I did keep the pool. That is something I loved, and I definitely wanted to continue to incorporate into the build, so I never wanted to change that. So as we get more into the build here, you'll see I'm like sectioning off and creating the covered patio portion here. And that I wanted to include mainly for practicality purposes, like if it were raining or snowing, if you have seasons, I still wanted your Sims to be able to come here and have not only a covered outdoor space, but also like a fully indoor portion. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, the Stargazer Lounge has only covered outdoor space. And so I did really want to include a fully indoor area for them to be at the bar, just for like, to make more sense seasonally during seasonal gameplay. Because sometimes this kind of feels like somewhere you would really only go in the summer, and might even, if it were real life, be open only seasonally, and so you could only go there during the summer and things like that. So that was something I wanted to change up a little bit and make sure it just made a little bit more sense. So yeah, I just wanted it to feel a little bit more cozy, and I guess maybe I'm also feeling kind of inspired by like fall season. And fall season definitely makes me feel like, oh, we should have some brick buildings, some nice rain. Maybe it might snow soon. So maybe that was subconsciously on my mind when I started building this. Anyway, so now I'm moving on to the lobby. So like I said, this is what I kind of envision is owned by the like hotel or apartment building, whatever you want to imagine is under this. They own it, and so I did kind of stick with some of the furniture items that were used in the original Stargazer Lounge, and that is also why I went with this like kind of fancy floor tile, which isn't really represented elsewhere. It's just in the bathrooms and the lobby. And I kind of love that. It makes it feel a little bit more like 1920s-esque, like this was once a very kind of fancy formal place, and that sort of inspiration was kept up by the building owners, and has kind of stayed true to the original over the years. And then the pool area and things have probably been updated and things over the years to be a little bit more practical, like, maybe once there was tile and that is too expensive to keep up, so they replaced it with like sidewalk tiles and things. So moving on into the actual bar, this is where I kind of felt more inspired by like the recent loft kit coming out, and I wanted to kind of incorporate some of those items. I did build this before the update came out, and so the industrial style cabinetry that came with base game doesn't match perfectly, and now it could, so that is one thing to keep in mind. Sorry, the colors are not perfect. I will have to go in and update them, and I'll try to do that before I upload it to the gallery and everything for you guys, because yeah, that was one of my biggest complaints when I first started using the new loft kit, was that there wasn't matching swatches with that kitchen set. So it's kind of funny that now I've gone and used it again, and now that I'm posting this, it's updated. So I could have had matching swatches, but for the video they're not totally matching, so I'm sorry for that. And that's also why I didn't end up putting upper cabinets, because I was like, oh god, there's too many colors going on here. So I like how it turned out without the uppers anyway, so that's fine. But I did consider using them and then did not because of swatches. So for the interior of the bar space, I really love how this turned out. It feels really more inspired by like just a neighborhood, like city bar, like and it still maintains some sort of like classy feelings. Like it definitely still has, it's a rooftop bar, so of course it's gonna feel a little bit fancy, but I wanted it to feel more homey, more cozy, more welcoming, I guess might be the word. Somewhere that I would probably go. It feels like probably tourists would go here as well. If I'm being honest here, one of my biggest inspirations for like the direction of the decor was this Strangerville bar. So I just recently got Strangerville, mainly because of the build items. They're just so cool. And so when I saw that bar, I was like, okay, here we go. So I wanted to use that bar, and I wanted to use the bar height like set the tables and chairs that came with the loft kit. So that really kind of solidified the brick building kind of cozy neighborhood bar feels that I was going for. And I really do love how it turned out. I think I'm a little bit more happy with this build than my first attempt trying to play with the industrial loft kit. Still bothered by the swatching, but that has been solved, so I won't keep complaining about that. I also wanted to have just regular seating. Like I like all of the bar height seating inside, but I wanted to kind of take some smaller tables outdoors and make it feel a little bit more appropriate for like patio seating. Another thing that I really wanted to add here was both a comfortable spot, like a cozy chairs and couch, and I also wanted to include a space for musicians. One of my favorite careers to play is the entertainer career and have musicians. And I love those kind of beginning stages of like your sim doesn't have a lot of money yet and they're just starting out. And so one of the ways to earn money is to play instruments publicly. And I definitely wanted to include a piano because those are on the more expensive side. And so I usually, even if I want like a pianist sim, I don't ever buy them a piano when they're starting off. So I usually go to the Blue Velvet, but I wanted to have another space that I could go to with those types of sims to play the piano publicly. And I also included a little guitar and a microphone. So that also opens up an option to like hire an entertainer. I'm pretty sure they come if you set it as a lounge, but if you set it as a lounge, then mostly elder sims come, and I kind of wanted this to be more of like young adults and adults come here. So I set it as a bar instead, and I'm not sure if this is true, but I think that they don't automatically send someone to play music then, if that's the case. But it does give you an option too if you want to if you want to hire someone to come play. So now I'm kind of working on the lighting here, and it was really important to me, like a lot of times in my own builds, when I'm just doing strictly for functionality, I use like those little puck lights, like the overhead lights, and just kind of leave those there. But it was really important to me to have more of like a cozy, warm lighting, and so I tried to delete all of the overhead lights, the overhead puck lights, and include actual like lamps. And I think it turned out so nice. Like it definitely feels like a little less like super bright in there. And yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I wanted to go for. So I think I did a pretty decent job with that. Adding some more mood lighting. So as I'm putting this like table and things and adding that to the little lounge space, I wanted to point out, like, if you've ever been frustrated by trying to place objects on top of a tabletop and it kind of just like snaps into place, if you put the table down with the things on top of it and then move the table with the things still on top of it and you press Alt, then you can slide the smaller objects around so that you can kind of place them in better places, or like put them on an angle and have them closer or further apart from each other, because sometimes it like snaps them like touching or sometimes it snaps them like very far apart, and I kind of usually want somewhere in the middle of that. So that's just a fun trick if you want to try doing that. And that's how I put the little terrarium and the candle on top of that table in that sort of like close way, because it wanted to snap them like on in a way that wasn't as visually pleasing to me. So that's how I did that, if you ever wanted to try it out. Now I'm kind of moving on to more of the outside portion. I had a lot of fun decorating the outside, and this part took me probably the longest. I knew I wanted to have the pool, and I knew I wanted to have like the pool chairs, the little lounge chairs, and I also knew that I would eventually like extend the outdoor seating to have some of these umbrella covered tables. That just feels very realistic to me to to have those kind of seating areas if you were gonna have like a pool, a rooftop pool nearby. So I knew that I was gonna do that. Something I didn't plan on doing that I really love in the end was putting in that little grassy space. So in a little bit I will go back and furnish it. So I just wanted to have like an outdoor space that was more green and had like a bunch of plants and things like that. So that part is probably one of my favorite areas of the bar. But before I end up finishing that, I'm just kind of putting a few like decorations around. I added those big like wall decorations from Eco Lifestyle. I added a little chalkboard menu behind the bar and put some floating candles on the pool. And I love that. I think it's helps create a little bit more atmosphere, and also I think harkens back to the original Stargazer Lounge being a little bit more glamorous and upscale. So I love that, but I still think it fits in with the theme I've got going on now. But it definitely has, original Stargazer Lounge vibes. So now that the little decor is added, I'm going back and furnishing the grassy space. And I wanted it to be like a little conversation area. So I've put in some like couches and things, but you'll see me kind of play around with what I really wanted this space to look like. I started off with these items from Island Living, and I liked the swatch on the black couch, and I think that probably could have worked, but my issue was with the white like rattan on the coffee table, and then having like the white cushions on the chair, because the black cushions on the chair didn't match. They had like a darker rattan swatch. So I guess I wasn't 100% on this. And then when I started putting down these Eco Lifestyle like plant boxes, that was kind of eventually guided me back to using more Eco Lifestyle. So yeah, I wasn't feeling this. I was bothered by the Island Living swatches themselves, but then also how they matched with the other swatches, especially the black. Like, I think I used a bunch of different packs, and they all kind of have different colors of black. So I think just adding one more, I was like, no, okay. So I got a little distracted putting other planters elsewhere. And then I finally realized, like, what if I use the eco lifestyle couches? So that's the direction I go for, and I think that makes a little bit more sense, like, cohesively with the interior portion of the bar. So the island living stuff I don't think was really making a lot of sense with the modernness, I guess, of like the benches that I put around that are also eco lifestyle. It wasn't really going with the industrial portions of like the interior of the bar, and so I think that adding the rest of the eco lifestyle stuff made a lot more sense, and I think it's more cohesive overall with like everything. So I'm glad I did that, and it really honestly looks like outdoor furniture. I know technically it's indoor couches, but we'll just imagine that the coverings are machine washable and can go outside. So yeah, this is probably my number one favorite place. My favorite part of the build is this outdoor portion with the grass. I love the couches and chairs, and I also love the little details I added to the tables, using more of those candles, and then some vases with the little greenery in there, and the menus. I thought that was a really cute touch. So now we're at the end, and we'll go into a little slideshow of how it turned out. I really love this place. I like it a lot more, I think, than the original Stargazer Lounge, so I hope you do too. Once again, we've got the outdoor portion overlooking the city. You can have your Sims talk to each other and have a little conversation on the couches, the interior of the bar, and the music space, and then we've got the exterior, and on the roof I did add a glass portion, which I think really adds like just beautiful lighting in there, like at the afternoon. So if you download it on the gallery, that's something that I think is really beautiful, and I wish I had featured building that. I forgot to record that part, so that's my bad. But it does have a really nice, beautiful glass roof over the bar that I think is really cool. Anyway, I hope you have a great week. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye!